All right, welcome, rando fans. We are joined for a Mentor Tournament 2025 Master Sword bracket, Game 2, Casual Boots, between Indio and Dr. John. I'm joined in the booth. My name is Furious Prince, and I am joined in the booth by Emok81, and our button tracking is going to be Buttergrapes. How you doing, Emok?
I am doing great tonight. Looking forward to a really great matchup here between Indio and Dr. John. Right now, we have Dr. John up 1-0 in this series here, the semifinals of the Master Sword bracket. This should be a really good one.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. So Dr. John is coming into this race with as the favorite, being up 1-0. So a win by Dr. John does push him into that finals, while a win from Indio actually goes and pushes us to a game 3, and we are off between both runners.
Yeah, and we are looking at a Kaz Boots seed, so a nice good old standard opening that we can kind of relax and just see what these runners find early on as we go through Escape. And it's all about execution in those first 5 minutes here.
Yeah, these first 5 minutes, that's why we call it standard. You know, we're all going to go down to Zelda Cell, pull Zelda, and go all the way out to a Sanctuary. From there, we might see some divergence, but unlikely. We might see the even more standard Kakariko open.
Yeah, that won't be a surprise. It'll depend on what we find here in Escape, but more than likely that's going to be the path that these runners will end up taking. Way too many items.
Early bombs, so that's nice for Kakariko.
And a bottle, so we could check everything in CAC without much of a problem this time.
John picking up some magic there, making sure that they have some just in case. Indio deciding to ignore that.
Yeah, probably not too big of a deal early on, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and this is the time of the brackets where we're going to see some dash lines and execution.
Yeah, we'll see how clean some of these rooms are from our runners here. Nice job from Indio with the first guard.
Just to respond to the joke by Sean in chat, I do know a good doctor. However, I don't think he's making house calls at the moment. He's a little bit tied up. All right, and India is going to be the first one down to Zelda Cell. Nice job avoiding that green guard there. And is just going to go for slashes straight on ball and chain guard.
Only took one hit doing it. That was pretty quick. And we're just going to get a map in Zelda Cell. So we know we're going to be item tight in the back. We already got the small key, and now we have the map. So if we get any goodies, well, we'll see coming up. We still got 5 checks.
Yeah, and there's still a whole lot of seed left to go. I mean, we already have a bottle and some bombs for CAC, so we could probably find some good items going in there. But for now, we're all right. But there are going to be 4 checks that are guaranteed items there in the back. All right, and as our runners finish up Escape, I do just want to talk about how both runners' paths to the semifinals came about. Dr. John had to fight his way as the 9 seed of the Fighter Sword bracket, with their first opponent being Popschland, then having to fight the 1 seed in round 2 versus Christopher Warkins, and now facing Indio here in the semifinals. Whereas Indio faced Magic Friends, but they came into this as the 5 seed, and then defeating Phoenix Tyrell in the quarterfinal rounds, and now facing Dr. John. As mentioned earlier, Dr. John is 1-up in this series, so we are going to see if they can pull this out and make their way to the Master Sword finals.
All right, now we're going to be able to get a look at these 3 chests in the back. There was only a 20 rupee in Dark Cross, so nothing there. See if we get any early goodies. Ether medallions, pretty good. Another bottle and a Master Sword. So wow, three big items right there in the back. Start speculating now.
Yeah, that Master Sword, that personally is not something I want to see this early on in a seed.
Yeah, it starts to make you suspicious pretty early about whether or not we're going to end up seeing an ag required seed, which can happen pretty frequently with Kaz boots. We know that. But we're a lamp away from that being doable. But let's see what we find en route here. I'm going to guess that we're going to see Bonk Rocks, and maybe we'll get that Lumberjack check just to kind of see if there's something there that might be of value to us later. And wow, there's a hook shot, so that's a pretty good part too. Great item to find early.
We did also get a map check by Dr. John. All 3 light worlds were crystals. However, none of them were 5/6 crystals.
Okay. Ooh, 8 bombs from the bush crab. That's nice.
That is very good knowledge to go and have for later on.
And just a piece of heart at Lumberjack. So right now, maybe we'll be able to avoid that agate play, but we'll see if it's required for Dark World access later.
And Quake here in Lost Woods, the mushroom spot.
Well, maybe we'll just get all 3 of the medallions early enough. We don't even have the question what'll open up Mire and Turtle Rock.
John, unfortunately, bumping into that stump just one too many times is going to put them just even further behind INDIO going into Kakariko. It has made up for a little bit of time.
Well, make up for a second there because he's not going to bother picking up those bombs already having 10, so there's no point. All right, let's see what we get in Blind's Hut. Piece of heart, 10 arrows, blue mail. Okay. More arrows. And a heart container.
Yeah, already up to 5 hearts here within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and blue mail, so that does help with a lot of different combat situations as well. But let's see if we let's see what else is going to be in this village. And our runners will just have enough. Yeah, you were about to say the same thing.
Just barely getting over that gap. Oh, and then we found a 300 anyways.
Yep, so it was perfect. More than enough money to pay the bottle vendor, because I was keeping an eye on that too. I'm like, well, they'll be able to pick up enough with the pots, but that 300, sure. Just 3 bombs anyway, so. But that still gives them a decent amount of money to save up for other costs down the road. Our scam fish and eventually getting into pod if that ends up being a thing, which, well, there's an item.
Yeah, speaking of pod.
Yeah. Nice early hammer.
I'd be worried about early Dark World with only 5 hearts and blue mail with that early hammer.
Yeah.
More bombs.
Let's see what Sick Kid has. Just $50.
There's Zora money still.
Yeah, exactly. Still need a little bit more, so money is welcome. So we still have the library and race game to look at here. Not really a super clear direction on where to go just yet. We need a couple more items to really kind of set that up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if there's nothing here at race game, just start doing some of the other South Shore checks. Yeah. And there's our map check from INDIO. Okay. So let's see if we see any divergence here, or they're going to just follow each other down to the south.
This makes sense going this way. This might be where we get our real divergences after Dam. One player right might go left.
Yeah, I was always, you never know if someone's kind of feeling a little bit daring and decides to go check Saha's closet and then see if that leads anywhere too. But this is definitely the better density for sure. And ooh, Dr. John getting the hookshot clip in there, that's going to save a little bit of time and really basically put him seconds ahead at this point.
Yeah, that block clip just saves you 1 screen transition, so it's a little bit nicer having that early hookshot.
Oh. Well, let's see if this changes some plans for either one of our runners. Not yet.
No, Wall Desert's nice, especially with the early boots. You still don't have a glove. You still don't have fire source. Right. I don't dislike this play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you never know what's over there, but it's still a pretty good risk. You kind of put yourself in a spot where you're likely going to have the double dip it. So holding off on that for a little bit's not a bad idea when you have 5 items here. Ooh. Early Canis Samaria and a Moon Pearl.
Game, don't do this. No early Dark World. Glove's going to be in Agina.
Well, that's what we're gonna hope for. I don't know. You're gonna hope to see a glove. The troll could be that we see a lamp, and then that tells you something else.
Honestly, I think Lamp's a little bit better with that book now, knowing that Desert's in Logic. You still can't beat Moldor, or sorry, Landmo, but it's at least more appealing if you have Lamp.
Well, you still need a glove to get back to use it, right? So I guess, but the lamp would just tell me, oh, Aga, and then go from there, because the hammer gives you access to more stuff in the Dark World. But we do have a Dio going to Desert.
Yeah, nice route divergence here.
Yeah. Opts to go into Agina's cave before going in the dungeon.
Yeah, if you're gonna skip Agina, probably would be better just to go and check it after doing Desert. Having to walk out there's a little bit slow.
I agree. And just $20, so we're gonna walk out and then go into Desert from there. Meanwhile, Dr. John
same wavelength today.
Yeah, absolutely. And not much in Waterfall, unfortunately. But we'll get a peek at the Zora Ledge. He doesn't have enough money for Zora, though. That's the only problem. Well, there's our 3rd bottle.
John, your cursor's on the screen.
All right, let's see if this desert dip pays off. And it looks like Dr. John might be going to do the exact same thing.
Well, I know we started with boots, but we're not boots locked.
No. And there it is. So,
I mean, still a problem.
Right, we can't finish the dungeon, but that does give Dark World access, and that's the important part.
Yeah, it's always nice to find a vanilla glove or French vanilla glove.
Absolutely. So good read from the runners to head over to Desert with that book in hand, just to clear out what they could here. Uh, that'll open up the seed quite a bit. So now I think we'll really see a lot of little divergence in terms of who's going to go where first. Because you do have we don't know obviously what the dungeons are, but we have a fully clearable Thieves Town at this point. But we also have Hype Cave staring at us. So let's see what they decide to do once they're out of here.
I did want to respond to chat over that about going up the mountain. This early in the seed, try and stay in logic as best you can. There is so much available in the Dark World as is that going up the mountain just for Paradox Cave is really not worth it. I know you get that save and quit, but I'd rather stay in logic to figure out what makes me get up there, especially if it's flute. Going into Dark World right now also gives you your map check to go and figure out what your crystals and pendants are, which we are going to get here. Total Rock and Skull Woods are your 5-6, and your entire southern Dark World dungeons are all your pendants. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's big. So that's very nice, good. And yeah, Skullwoods and Turtle Rock just helping our tracker out again. Good job. Yeah. All right. Well, here's Hype Cave. A shield. Fisher Price is in the building.
I want to be a Toys R Us kid. Ooh.
And we got powder. Powder is a really nice item to get safety wise. It does open up a check in the village as well, since we have the hammer in hand.
Would really like to see that with the myths in the mirror, though.
Yeah, I mean, right now, without having a mirror at all, I mean, that's going to be a last resort for sure. Like, that won't happen until next time Indio's in the light world, maybe. But we'll get a pyramid check, and then let's see what they do from here.
Honestly, I don't like. I like this. I like going to pod this early. We now know that it's a crystal. You have bottles to go and push and unlock.
Right. Now, Dr. John looks like they're heading to the eastern area. At least gonna check Saha's closet. Maybe let's see if he decides to dip the dungeon. I don't know if it's a great idea to spend a lot of time here, but I mean, hey, look, if a bow shows up in this area, you're gonna feel like a genius, right?
It's funny that there are 3 dungeons that Cane of Samara that they got super early is useful for, and only one of them is required.
Yeah. And we got flippers in Saha's closet on Dr. John's side. So that's another important item that, well, may actually not be really required with having swamp and ice both as pendants. But you never know.
Message from our restreamer Lumaga, just letting us know that we are experiencing we are not experiencing technical difficulties. Our runner Dr. John is having a little bit of stuttering issues, so we're gonna try and keep up with it the best that we can, but you may see a little bit of experiences that aren't up to snuff.
Sounds good. Yeah, so Dr. John did skip on the Eastern play, probably for the best. We'll see later on if that's, I mean, without having a bow or lamp, I mean, yes, we could do that without a fire source, but without having that bow right away and having a lot of Dark World checks open too, I don't blame Dr. John at all. So now it looks like, let's see. So Dr. John's gonna head over to some of the checks down here, like Stumpy in the dig game, and Indio's heading to check what is on Bumper Ledge. Some good knowledge, and it's just money.
Yep, just the 300. So there's Zora money.
Yeah,
Both runners do having enough to go check pod and get Zora. Or close to it.
very close to it for Dr. John. I think Indio's only at 502, so they got a little bit to go, but let's see what we got in dig game. All right, fire shield. Great. And I believe we saw what a heart container over at chess games, so nothing super valuable yet from either side. Okay, well that's nice. Indio finds tempered sword in the brewery.
Both runners just got promoted from Master Sword to Tempered Sword. Well,
Yeah.
Dr. John's on the way to do that.
Yeah, he'll get that very soon. And now we're going to get our first look at Thieves Town, which is no surprise. It's a dungeon that's completable. It's a crystal. It's a good time to jump in and just get this one done.
Well, beyond just being completable, it's also fully clearable having that hammer super early.
Yes.
Very nice play.
Oh, Dr. John remembering about the powder. Well, not going to be any more money issues. Yeah.
That's 3 of our 300s.
Yeah, no money issues anymore for Dr. John.
Indio finding that big key in chest number 3 of Thieves Town.
And a map.
I believe
there.
we only saw one item here in the front.
We might have seen none, because I thought we saw a compass earlier. We have the small key as well. I might be mistaken, but that first chest I thought was a compass.
I might have missed it. I saw big key, small key, and map. I didn't see the very first one.
Okay. Well, we'll have to take a look as we go through here. I mean, definitely, there's 3 or 4 items in the back of this, so there's a lot of value back here, maybe.
John checking the ped.
Well, we know it's nothing, so anyone who had the pet dream, it is dead pretty early in this seed.
Nalaga's saying John needs dips in dungeons, and I'm more inclined to agree. That's a check that you can do when you have Fire Rod and Mirror to go check Skull Woods.
Yeah.
'Cause you know you're going to need to go up there at some point.
It's like almost being like overly cautious. And actually, I'm surprised that he didn't bonk into that tree and get his magic filled at this point. But probably not too big of a deal if you're going to be going into Thieves anyway. You don't have one of the safeties. You're not going to be using a ton of your magic.
Sean also bringing up a great point in chat about 2 of the pendants being locked behind mitts. It's also just, there are so many items you need. Pet is such a far away check to do. Like, yes, you have books super early, but I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, that's very fair. All right. John evens himself up on swords.
It does make me more inclined to see what's on Ether Tablet, though. Being that we can illogically get there, but all we're missing is a flute or a lamp.
Yeah. Well, there's the safety. Burn it in the big chest. And yeah, that first check was a compass in Thieves. So this was a 4 item in the back Thieves Town. All right. Indio in the blind fight. Good phase 1. And blind is down. I don't think we've found anything of any real note here, but Indio does get the first crystal at about the 24-minute mark by the time we're out of here.
I'm gonna earmark that Berna as important, just because while we still can't logically get to the mountain, that does put Spike Cave in a more logical position.
No, that's a great point. It very easily could be the access into that for something later on. Yep, for sure.
Meanwhile, Indio is going to go check the checks that Dr. John already has made here on South Dark World.
Yeah, the question's going to be, where are we going to see our runners go next? Because
Pod is still sitting there.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Would probably be a pretty good move because, you know, it's one of those scenarios where there's likely going to be a key in that first chest, and if not, it could actually be an item that gets you elsewhere. One of those wonderful forced double dip pods, always a fun time.
Zora is also still in logic, even if we didn't find that glove in desert because of the flippers being in Sawhouse Closet. So Zora's still in, you know, out there.
Yep, that's true as well. I think those are our two biggest. Well, and it could be something in Eastern for the sake of matter too. And yep, front of Skull Woods is just chilling there too. That's a great point from Mr. Angry Pants. I mean, any of these could be places they're going to go to. Indio opting to get caught up with the closet here. We'll get their flippers, and then we'll see what decisions are made from there.
And while we know it's nothing, Indio did also forego grabbing the magic bat while in Kakariko earlier.
Yeah, good point.
But I don't think they had actually come back from the Dark World because of no mirror, so they may not have even had the chance. Just asking a question to Sean. Okay, never mind. You just answered it for me. He does have flippers, so I was trying to figure out why you were suggesting current jump.
Yeah, they.
Oh, we already see Hobo from Indio here.
I mean, yeah, you just picked up the flippers. Indio's gonna do all the water checks here that were skipped earlier, so this makes sense. Just get it out of the way. You're here. Could be something important. It's totally in logic at this point. Oh, more money. There's another 300. We've seen a lot of those today.
I think that's our last one. I think there's only 4 in the pool.
Yeah. All right, Dr. John gets his crystal about a little over 27 minutes, so a little over 3-minute difference from finishing Thieves Town for both.
And more route divergence here. Dr. John looks like he's about ready to go north.
Yeah, and that, honestly, you're here. It makes sense. Do some of these checks and probably do that Skullwoods dip. Yeah, that's where he's heading. And since Indio has the money, we're going to actually see what Zora has. So that'll be good. And then, I don't know, let's see if Indio will opt to pick up that other bottle too. I think it had a fairy in it that's sitting in the ledge. So they were told that what there are 5 300s, and you're 90% sure John already got it.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Mountain. I'm heading up the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. There's your logical access.
That is a huge blow to Dr. John not having Zora money earlier on when going to Zora.
It is, and it's just an awful check to want to go back to. Though you're kind of hoping that the flippers kind of tell you that maybe you should look in that direction, since the dungeons that require the flippers are pendants. Maybe you go back there and look at that. But when you've already cleared it all out, it's gonna be tough to convince yourself to get back there.
It's so isolated. You don't know if he wants the bottle. Obviously, you know, in the semifinals, most runners should be okay with dark rooms, but that doesn't mean that they all are.
Right.
You don't know what a runner has and has not faced so far in this tournament. So I'm not going to count Dr. John out of not being able to do dark rooms, but that's tough.
Well, and it really depends on how much Dr. John wants to stay in logic. So, because if he's looking at like, I don't want to go up the mountain until I have one of those things, then he doesn't have a ton of checks other than doing that or Eastern at this point. You know, there's a handful of things. So let's see. Well, look, Dr. John immediately heading down towards the water, so he might be making a really good decision right here. We'll go over to the hobo and then maybe go up and get that Zora item.
Yeah, but in John's head, there's still Skullwoods. I'm sorry, he already did Skullwoods. They're still Eastern. There's still Pod. Like, there's a lot of things still on their tracker that can deter them from Zora at the moment.
Yep, very true. But I'm kind of wondering, since he's in the water now, if he just ends up going through and just does it because he's here. But we'll see. There's the save and quit. We're gonna have to see what he does.
Yeah, just responding to chat, like, it kind of doesn't matter if John's better than Indio with dark rooms, because Indio doesn't have to do dark rooms.
Correct.
And I do agree that Zora is probably just dead at this point. That's such a unless you get mirror and go to catfish, but I don't see John mirroring to go to check Zora unless he's late game deciding to go grab that bottle.
Yeah, and we have no idea where that mirror might be. It might not be something that, I mean, the also reality is with Swamp being a pendant, the mirror just might not show up. So that's just a reality of how the seed could play out. So Indio getting into Paradox. The bottom didn't really have anything helpful. Let's see if we get anything good up top. Fire Rod, that's really good. We know that's required. And Red Mail.
Meanwhile, John on their way to go check catfish, so Zora really is dead in their mind.
Yeah, because if you're going to do this, there's no way you're going to come back up once you get the mirror or anything, unless, like I said, I'm sure Dr. John's going to feel comfortable enough eventually going up the mountain without having the lamp, and we'll probably just never find it. Which isn't really a horrible situation, because at least we know if he does that and gets over to the Paradox, he's going to get a fire rod, so he will get a fire source, which is really helpful. It's not locked behind the lamp, because that would be a really bad scenario. Oh, speaking of a mirror.
Yikes. I mean, fantastic find for Indio, but for Dr. John, again, like, we're going to have to sequence break the mountain at this point, unless he's going to go check Zora here, which it looks like he is, so that's better. But had we had the sequence break the mountain and there was all these different checks that are here on the mountain, it's one of those questions of, what did I miss that keeps me in logic?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's got to be what's drawing him here, and just doesn't want to go into Eastern, which right now seems like the right play. Because at least we know that this unlocks the mountain, which is significant.
And we're only 33 minutes in. Let's reiterate by saying that, because this is not saying that Dr. John is dead in the water.
Absolutely not.
We've seen like 3 races just this week, and it's Sunday already. It says that momentum can swing all the way up to Ganon. So I'm not counting Dr. John out. I'm not saying Indio's miles ahead and they're going to be Ganon an hour before Dr. John. Just
no,
that's rough.
We still have at minimum 2 major required items that we have to find in terms of a bow and an ice rod, and then we don't know about Bamos medallion as well, because we don't know what opens up Turtle Rock. So there's plenty of things that could really throw this seed into a lot of different directions. And these are both 2 great runners, and we're gonna just kind of enjoy them picking this thing apart and seeing who can figure out the puzzle first. But Dr. John is going to have to catch up a little bit. That's the reality of where we are right now, but anything could change.
But we could also say if John loses this, that it was brought up in chat that he hasn't lost in brackets yet. So, not commentators curse, chat curse.
That's right. We will give you guys credit for that one. Okay. So nothing important in Spirals. So the main items we got were Paradox and then also getting that mirror in Hera. Those are the prizes here. So that opens up a lot of little stuff.
I mean, it was brought up in chat that watch to see that, you know, Bo is on left side swamp. I don't disagree with that at this point.
Well, Swamp is wide open right now, right? Because we got all the items for it. Yeah.
Full logic.
Yeah, and so even though it's a pendant dungeon, it is the green pendant, so that might be something that these runners end up taking a look at because it is a pretty dense place. And you know, I get the reluctance of wanting to go into pod without having that bow. You know, we'll see if that's the right move or not.
I feel a lot more comfortable going into pod without bow personally, just because I know that there's a lot more checks to potentially get it, especially if it's not bow locked. If it's bow locked, I'm forgetting about it completely until I need to. Right.
Well, I mean, Indio's going to do the right thing and getting that fire out off the mountain. We could full clear Skull Woods now, so getting that done would be is great. So they're on their way to their third crystal here.
Chat bringing up bow could still be in Spike Cave. It is in logic.
I thought about that, and I was kind of wondering whether or not Indio was going to go for Spike Cave after clearing out Spiral, but I also get the whole let's get to the Crystal Dungeon, because Indio didn't dive in here at all, so doesn't know that the two items in here really aren't anything amazing. I think we saw like a heart maybe or something like that in here, so it wasn't anything great, and I think both items were available already, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
It was full heart container and vanilla Vicky chest, and I did miss the other item.
Okay. Oh, Dr. John missed the bomb jump.
Does he not have bombs? Oh, he does have bombs.
No,
why did he not
does.
just try it again?
I don't know. Miss it once,
Done?
just go down here and just say, screw it, I'm gonna go right back up and just and not do it again. I don't know. I usually try to do at least one more attempt.
If you were down to like 2 bombs or 3 bombs, okay, I can understand it, but
right.
9? While both runners are doing things that the other has already done, other than Indio, who's about to drop into Moth, I do just want to go and take the time to go and say, but give both of our runners a follow. We are seeing Master Sword semifinals here. Winner of this race or series goes on to face Bobsled in the final Master Sword finals. Oh, Temper Sword and Fire Rod shots here on Moth.
Yeah. There we go. Indio will be getting their third crystal, the big key on Moth.
I believe should only be a small key left.
And Dr. John now finding the mirror, and it will clear out Hera relatively quickly.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that children play nice and chat. We can have Kirby time that later.
All right, Indio getting the good news that there's nothing on Ped to worry about. Sorry again, chat, for dashing your dreams. This is not a Ped seed. Also was not an Ega 1 seed. What is that about? Even though it kind of was given hints of it early.
I didn't roll it, that's why.
Ah, that's the difference. You're welcome, runners. All right, second crystal on the board for Dr. John. Though when he's ready to go back to Skullwoods, it'll be pretty quick because he can just rush Moth. But let's see if Dr. John opts to do Spike Cave after checking Spiral, or if he's gonna just kind of go the same route and just start knocking out the dungeons he can do.
More than likely just knocking out dungeons you can do. It's a little bit slow to go have to reclimb the mountain and go back over
Yeah.
one side.
That's pretty much what I'm expecting.
Oh, getting grabbed there on Indio side.
Oh no.
He's just gonna spend the key here.
Yeah, at this point, you've already cleared out everything else in the dungeon. Just get here quickly and grab this last chest and get out. There we go.
So a full heart and a piece of heart in Skullwoods today. John electing to go for Green Pendant Swamp Palace. I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, remember, Dr. John did already clear out Skullwoods, so knows that they got both items in there, right?
No, I think he's doing K45 into maybe Swamp, but maybe also Bombo's Tablet.
Yeah, I won't be surprised to see him clear that stuff out too while he's here. I figure get the mirror checks that are close by and then maybe go into the dungeon as well. There's your other 300. So that's all of them.
There's the fifth one.
Yeah, yeah. And Indio grabbing the what was it, $50 I think for Magic Bat? Yeah, no, it was 300 there too. That's right. My goodness. The seed did throw the money at them, so. All right, so John's gonna do the Bombos tablet check.
Even when there's no mentors, Sean's still yelling at John.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why. It was a required ice rod.
That's fascinating. It'll probably get checked. It'll probably get checked later with purple chest.
Yeah.
Oh god, once we find myths, I'm going straight to Turtle Rock. If we find that before Bow, of course.
Oh, that would definitely be the play to go to. I mean, you have a 2/3 chance of opening it, and Bamos could even show up on the way at some point. But Turtle Rock very well could be a dungeon that we get to clear out a little bit earlier once those myths show up.
Like, I know people are going to be very mad at that controversial take because you want to try and save one of your mountain dungeons for last, but
Of course.
if you find myths before you find Bow, go straight to Turtle Rock.
The bow loves to show up in Turtle Rock at various points, or it'll be in like Mimic Cave or something. But
Both
it just
Bows left side swamp.
absolutely. Well, and the other thing too is that if you do get access up there, you have 4 checks in Hookshot Cave, you have 2 in Super Bunny. It really is one of your more dense areas at this point. And it would be fully clearable once those myths are in hand. So I could agree. The only thing that would screw them up is if Bamos is the entrance and we don't have that yet.
I know it's chat saying watch Bow be first check in pod, and I initially wanted that too. Now I really want both bows to be on left side swamp.
Both bows on left side swamp? Oh, that's just evil.
I mean, it's pretty common to see both rods. Why not both bows?
Oh man, brutal. I'm here for it though. That's why I sign up to do these things.
Give me chaos in the semifinals.
Nice kill from Dr. John. And just a piece of heart for the second item in desert. So that's not the answer, but it is another crystal, so that's a good thing.
Indio accidentally map checking there in the middle of Lambo fight. Did recover a little bit well. And there goes Lambo on Indio's fight. Side 2.
Very good. So that puts the crystal count now at 4-3. Indio having that slight lead only because Dr. John has to just go back and clean up Skullwoods at some point. But they're pretty much evened up with the exception of that ice rod.
Oh my god, are we actually gonna get Spike Cave check?
That's what it looks like. God, if there's something good here, it's such an interesting check to do when you have Pod and Swamp wide open to you right now.
If this is huge, like if this is Bo or Mitts, I mean that might just give John the chance that he needs to catch back up.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, is Indio going to Swamp? Yes, it sure looks like it. Oh, they're gonna, okay. Indio looks like they're probably gonna be getting their ice rod any second. Well, Buttersword.
Ooh.
Hey, that's a nice combat upgrade, but it certainly isn't what Dr. John was looking for. But hey, this ice rod's not going to be making a huge difference here. Both runners will have that in their possession, so that's good. No ice rod hunt today for anybody. So now I think are we going to see both runners going into Green Pendant Swamp at the same time?
All this divergence just to reconvene up Green Pendant Swamp is crazy.
No, Dr. John's going to take another left field chance, and it looks like Indio's probably going to check some mirror stuff.
John, why not just use the...
That's a great question. We didn't use the portal at the Flute 5 spot. We just went in there and just we're running over this way. But we're finally going to get a look at Pod. So let's find out if this is bow locked or not.
I mean, I guess in John's head, Skullwoods is super easy to clear, but it's also not the easiest or fastest to get to Moth.
No.
So I wish that he had gone to go clear Skullwoods, especially being a 5/6, because if you do find Mitts here and go kill TR, that's another check.
Well, and maybe he's thinking if I do find the Mitts somewhere, you can clear out Skullwoods really at any point and get that done real quick and then go up the mountain again. Because, I mean, like I said, he has both items out of there, so he's not in a rush to go back.
Indio also going to Pod.
Yeah, all right. So I really thought we were going to see one of them go into Swamp, but I guess not. Again, we expected this a while ago. Let's see if they can go further.
Yeah, but with the teases to the other areas.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have a small key. I mean, a bow in here would just be fantastic, wouldn't it? Everyone's kind of just loves the bow and pod play.
A bow in here means that you're on a Mitts hunt.
Yes.
Almost an hour in.
Yeah. Mitts, possibly Bamos, we just don't know. But yeah, Mitts for sure.
And we might see a tag team here of both Eastern and Pod and then swap later on.
Yeah. Well, because we haven't seen anything from either of these dungeons, so this is really going to be a mushroom in Pod. Maybe we'll just have all the fetch quests between the two of them. This would be great.
Gotta get that meme mode in there. Mushroom leads to shovel, shovel leads to whatever.
Oh, man. Scanlan, now he wants the bow and mire. Oof. We're a long ways off of that. Then again, I mean, if both we find Flute and Mitts in here, anything's possible. So Pod's just kind of stringing Dr. John along, giving him a key here and there to be able to do a little bit more. And someone can tell me, I don't, I mean, he's gonna check this. I don't know if we've seen the big key yet. So India's out of Eastern. I'm guessing we saw all 3 items in there pretty quick. No big key in pod yet. So that big key has got to be bow locked then at this point. So he's not gonna try to glitch that out. So they're just gonna trade places. So the only thing I think we've seen so far is that mushroom, isn't it? Yeah, these 2 dungeons. I mean, unless that mushroom turns into something, kind of duds right now.
Yeah, at this point, you may really consider dipping Green Pendant Swamp.
I really think that that is going to end up being an answer of some sort in this seed. Though I am curious about that mushroom turn in, because it would be kind of funny if that ended up like forcing a double dip or something like that. Oh, the Indio is gonna. Let's see if they got the camera unlock here.
And just to
Oh
answer the
yes, they
question,
did.
just to answer the question in chat, so Indio has also gone and done Skull Woods, whereas Dr. John has not yet finished Matula.
Right, Dr. John went into Skullwoods and got the items out of the front, but didn't have the fire out at the time. Okay, so it was just a key, which I think we knew was a small key and a big key over here. So it's great that we got those, but without the bow, it's not going to lead to any advantage. There was no item to pick up on this side. So where does Dr. John go? Are we going to do mushroom turn in? Are we going to just go to swamp? Or are we going to do another... Oh, we're heading north. So it might be the mushroom. Yeah, it looks like he's going to take the opportunity to do some potions as well because he's emptying out his bottle. Yeah, okay. Yeah, secretly a sliver. We're agreeing. We were not going to be surprised if Swamp's got an important answer. It certainly wasn't the mushroom turn-in. So that's what we're leaning towards in this case. Well, Dr. Johnson, an opportunity to go there first if that's what he decides to do. I'm not sure what else he's oh, where are we going? I think King's Tomb?
King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah.
I want to see Grave Robber so bad used.
Yeah, King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge. That's fine. Get these checks out of the way. But I'm still... Indio might be making the play.
I do think John has also, with the way the seed has played out, has made up for missing the lamp on Zora. But
Yes.
With that clear Skull Woods, I would still say that Indio probably has the clear lead.
Yeah, I mean, because he's gonna have to take a couple minutes to go back there and finish off Moth at some point, and so that is gonna make a difference. And if Swamp's the answer, Indio's gonna be the first one in, and so that might put Indio on a really good path here. But it depends. Let's see what's here in King's Tomb. Not the answer.
Very poor king.
Yes. Well, we knew the king didn't have 300. We've seen all those.
Maybe that's why Ganon sacked Hyrule. Couldn't pay him.
All right. So now I think we're going to see some conversions here. Again. Yeah, Mitts and Swamp? Never. Yeah, you're right, Coin Chaser. Never would happen, ever. Maybe even a bow, too.
I'm still holding on hope for double bow left side.
Well,
or we can find
Mitts and
Mitts.
Swamp. Coin Chaser calling it out immediately.
Save and quit, go to TR.
You know, it really isn't a bad idea, just because it really could be, oh, there's your one item, it's right here, and now get out.
It's a clearable crystal dungeon, and it's your 5/6. If I'm Indio, I'm saving, quitting, going straight to your 5/6 to go and open up Pyramid Fairy.
So now I'm looking, here's where it could get really interesting. Does Dr. John decide to do that? And then we'll find out whether or not staying in Swamp was going to be a good decision or not. Or do they just decide, hey, we're going to just clear this out while we're here? First item was a banger. Let's see if the rest of them are. So what decision gets made? He's staying.
It honestly could still also be, you know, Flute or Bombos inside of Hookshot Cave. Oh no, he's going.
Ooh. Okay. I mean, we do know there's a lot of checks up on Death Mountain now. Is he having some indecisiveness there for a second?
Hey, John, just save and quit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a huge play. We'll see if this pays off. I mean, either way, you know, like I said, it's a 2/3 chance that he's going to be able to get into TR and clear it out. Oh, no.
And that's go mode.
There's a bow in Swamp.
57 minutes,
boy.
20 seconds. That's go mode.
Wow. Now, Dr. John could get bailed out. There is a second bow, right? So if there is a second bow somewhere up here on the mountain, then not all is lost. But if that other bow is not in a good spot, having that back in Swamp is just such a bad placement for it.
That's brutal, especially if they're both there and one's either on Argus or Green Pendant turn in.
Well, if they're both there, that's your fault. You've been calling that the whole time, right? So.
Well, I was calling left side Swamp, not back left side.
That's fair.
It was on a left side, but it was not the left side.
Correct. All right, well, let's see if we can even get into Turtle Rock. Okay, we can. So there's a chance, there's a chance if the other bow's up here, that's going to be the best thing that's going to happen to Dr. John, because then at least he'll be in go mode and we'll never get his silvers, but that's okay.
That does cement the go mode of 57 minutes 20 seconds on Indio side.
That's phenomenal. So now from here, just going back to clear out Eastern and Pod, and then India's got to go up the mountain to Turtle Rock. So it's quite a great job in this seed so far from Indio.
Yes, John's still not dead in the water. You know, Ganifalls happen, deaths happen, but it's looking, the chances are slimming.
Half magic is a nice consolation prize in Hookshot Cave, but
we do have a little bit of desync that I'm hoping we should have cleared up here in a moment. Usually our resident bettor here is Dr. John, but currently they're the one racing. So Lumaga, who is also one of the resident bettors, Uh, the odds are going low. Do you have any predictions for us? It was the answer to the question in chat about where was Bo? Back swamp. Just before waterfall chest.
Yeah, it was the left chest in the room where you do diver down. So the mitts were in the second chest right after the small key, and we were talking about whether or not we should just see someone bail after getting those mitts, and that's what Dr. John decided to do. And then of course seconds later Indio finds a bow further on in that dungeon. So yeah, it was definitely a rough one. But you know, again, the nice thing is there's two bows, so if the second one happens to show up here in TR, then Dr. John's going to get a huge break and could be right back into this. But if that second bow doesn't show up here, then it's going to be tough because he's going to have to make that decision to go back into swamp or hope to get bailed out with a bow in another location, like going to ice or something like that.
And I don't disagree with John's decision to go and bail out of Swamp Palace after finding mitts in your first check, especially
No.
like what we were talking about with TR being a crystal.
Right. 5 checks in this dungeon plus 6 on the outside. You know, it's certainly it's very tempting to come up here when you know that you're likely going to be able to get in and clear this out, because the only question we had was the actual medallion. Yeah, we saw the tablets. Bamo's tablet actually had their ice rod. That was the big prize.
And both checked Ether tablet when they went to Hera.
Yeah. That was not as eventful, but the Bamos tablet was absolutely required. So that book paid off today. I'm pretty sure Indio should know, because Indio, after getting the bow, Indio bailed out of swamp. So I think they're aware. I've been hoping.
I mean, they have Tempered Sword. It just depends on comfortability of Sorrel's Ganon. I'm assuming, you know, this late in the tournament, they should be comfortable with it. Not great with it, but comfortable.
Actually, good point in chat. Indio does not know whether or not Bamos is required for TR, so could be doing some checks just in case. But I mean, you're at that like 2/3 go mode idea. So, but the thing, Indio just needs to finish. Indio already cleared out Eastern, all 3 items. Just needs to go and kill Armo, so it'll be pretty quick. And then they're gonna go up the mountain and find out that they can clear out TR without any problems.
Especially from their perspective, you still have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave to do.
Yeah.
That's another 6 checks for you to do. That's easy enough to get. Could just be key under the door stop if it is Bombos.
Yep. So we know that Indio's in go, but Indio's not 100% certain. 66% certain. All right. So Dr. John's still unfortunately looking for a bow. We're hoping if the seed wants to play nice. Oh, did not actually. Oh, okay. Wanted to just check that first, and then we'll check Mimic Cave.
This so confuses me with runners just going in. It's like, Mimic, and then they do it after.
Yeah, I don't know if the idea is that if I find what I want there, I just go, but when you're 1 from go, big chest saves you time since you don't do mimic at all. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get that.
I meant more in general, not this race in particular. But thank you for the information.
Yep. All right. So looks like we're gonna. You know, I don't mind this. India's gonna go ahead, turn in the mushroom. Not gonna get anything for it, but probably take the opportunity to just kind of refill on bottles if they need to. Yeah, might as well just do it. Get the check just in case it was the Bombos medallion. I hope we don't waste time. Good check on the arrows. Only had 2, so picking that up was nice. I hope we just go right up the mountain. Good. Yeah, gotta check it, and you're gonna get some good news. Look at that mirror shield on laser bridge. Always funny. Oh no.
No, John.
No. Oh no, we got a flute on laser bridge, which is really not good because that's gonna just keep on pulling John away from where he has to go. There's the Bombos.
Oh, I was gonna say you need to hope Bombos is Meyer, but that makes it even worse.
Yeah, because now, oh man, that just opened up a whole nother dungeon. Which, to be fair, it could still have the second bow, right? We don't know, but the likelihood is just starting to get really low. Like, you know, if I was gonna be a betting person, I would expect the second bow to be a GT at this point, but it's not necessarily that way. It's just, since we know the ones in Swamp, it just every single time he finds something that's going to take him further away from Swamp, it just feels bad.
Well, it opens up more than just Meyer as well, because yes, Meyer, you know, is completable, but it's 2 items versus also having Meyer Shed and Checkerboard Cave. So in total, you're looking at 5 items over in just that area alone with that flute.
Yep, and absolutely.
Plus the time to even activate the flute is going to be a major time waste.
Yeah.
But again, we can't fault John for a dipped out of Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, it just wasn't where the logic was.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate set of events. I mean, again, we were even talking about it, like, oh man, you got the mitts, it opens up so much, do you leave? And then, you know, it didn't end up being the right call. Yeah, and John still has to go back and hit up Skull Woods and finish that too. Good call, Scanner. So there's a lot of stuff that John has to do. But if he activates the flute, then he can finish Skull Woods and start to do some of these other things and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, and again, he could get bailed out. Maybe he goes into Meyer and does find the other bow there. And I mean, unfortunately, no matter what he chooses to do, it's going to be too late, since all Indio needs to do is finish TR and then go right to GT. But anything can happen.
Just to respond to a couple things in chat, you make one pretty reasonable call. Unfortunately, John's made a lot of really good, reasonable calls. It just hasn't led or amounted to anything. Skipping Zora because he didn't have the money. All right, that's a pretty reasonable decision, but it unfortunately just was bad in this instance. While also going to TR when finding mitts just didn't happen to play out. A lot of really reasonable, you know, thought out plays that just was not the right answer this go around.
It's just like the perfect storm of, in another seed, he could make these exact same decisions and everything could be correct, right? And just the way the item placement worked, it just didn't end up working out for some of the decisions he made, which was just unfortunate.
But the other thing I wanted to address was about Meyer Shed always having the answer. Juicetown always has the juice. I just don't know if this particular one it has the juice.
Yeah. And we're gonna see Smith Chain here. Again, I get it. You find those mitts in the pendant dungeon, you follow some of the mitts checks, hoping that the bow is behind it. And again, he could be right. That's what the weird part is about chasing down a bow, is that we know there's 2. We just don't know where that second one is, and he might find it. But it's, you know, it's starting to become a little less likely as we go. So Smith Chain, just a piece of heart. And Hammer Peg didn't have anything. So he's gonna grab the purple chest and just run off with that. Or, yeah, I was gonna say, at this point you can mirror and flute with it if you need to, which is that now he's gonna do that. And just 20 bucks on the purple chest. All right, now we're gonna see that Meyer area play. Meanwhile, Indio getting through the maze and TR. Just needs to find the small key on Laser Bridge, and then we can get this seed, this dungeon wrapped up and go check out GT.
I may have been muted, but I wanted to take this moment to give our runners a shout out. Again, just because they are putting out this race for us, they are showing us, you know, what it means to be in the semifinals of even just the Master Sword bracket, and has been discussed in chat. Rando giveth, Rando taketh away very, very quickly. Also want to give a shout out to our crew here, as both runners seemingly make it their way to different bosses. But give our crew a shout out. Lumaga for help putting on the restream, being our restreamer tonight. Buttergrapes for being tracking, doing a fantastic job at it for their very first time. And my co-commentator Emok81 for helping me put this on.
Yeah, and make sure you give a big follow to Fierce Prince here as well. This has been a lot of fun doing this matchup with you tonight.
And if you are interested in being a participant in Mentor Tournament 2026 or any future tournaments that we may or may not have coming this year, go ahead and join the Gomo Podcast Discord, as well as looking out for any of the future races as we approach the finals of all 4 divisions in 2025 Mentor Tournament by checking out the Mentor Tournament schedule. I'm sure Lamago will be putting that here in chat as well here soon. Very nice Trinex fight there on Indio's side.
Yes, and since Trinex is down and this is going to be Indio's 7th crystal, let's start to put those guesses in chat from 1 through 22. Where are we going to get that GT big key?
Right, you are. Here on the podcast, we like to play a very special game. Emok already kind of alluded to it, but there are 22 checks in GT's basement that we can go and check where the big key can be. We are seeing numbers already rolling into the chat. Guessing will end as soon as Indio goes and enters GT. Where do you like to go and check where big key is in a seed like this?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with this one being a little bit early. Let's call it as number 3. I'm gonna go with a 3 on here. I didn't see a 3 in chat.
I was gonna go with number 8, but it looks like Sean took it.
I'm gonna go personally with I'm gonna go with 11.
11? All right.
I'm not seeing an 11 in there yet.
I don't see 11 either. I do see a 24 though. That's a little bit too high.
I'm seeing a half.
I did see a half as well. Thanks, TJ. Oh, we're gonna do Hope Room first. That might mean that 3 could be on Torch for me. Let's see what happens here.
Well,
that's
guessing
1,
is also
2.
closed.
And no, we're gonna go full right side. All right. I like it.
Ooh.
Oh.
We
I
may
wonder
be
if this
going
will
left side.
change. I was gonna say, I wonder if this will change the routing now, and it will. So the torch is gonna be 3 now. All right, just a small key. Sometimes those grabs can be good things in GT. You never know where this key is, and if it ends up being on left side, then that actually just saved Indio a little bit of time.
Meanwhile, John's gonna go and grab that big bomb. We are gonna see Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah. Let's see if John gets bailed out there or not.
Very unfortunate.
4, 5. Still haven't seen the big key yet. The cape is in 6, and another small key in 7.
I think the worst thing we as, viewers can see right now is finding that second bow here in GT.
Yeah, you're right. If we see it here, that just sinks because then we know that Dr. John has to get back in the swamp.
Like, it helps Indio because it gives them silvers and a tempered sword, but because
Yeah.
we know where butter sword is, but seeing
believe that
silvers
was-
here.
8.
Ooh, no, Dr. John finding silvers. Unfortunately, it might just be too late to go and save their seed.
So there's a vanilla bow, huh?
Vanilla bow, but it also does kind of more justify his decision to do TR. And like we discussed, reasonable decision to do, just the wrong seed to do it in.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, when he finds out later on where that other bow was, and could have had it quite a while ago, it's just unfortunate. Two important items in Pendant Dungeon is pretty rough, especially when it hands you the mitts like right away.
Well,
We certainly don't blame him.
Not even just pendant dungeon, green pendant dungeon.
Yeah,
so there's always that thought in your head that there might be something on Saha, and especially with it being swamp and it just having left side swamp, which I'm a big fan of. Just I don't know if I would have even done it this seed.
All right, chat, where were we at? 13 so far and we haven't seen it?
2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 13.
Okay. All right, so we got Bob's chest coming up, and then we'll have the 3 checks behind Armos.
John running on autopilot. I'm gonna go check that chest again. If the key is on right side for Indio here, that has to be a feels bad moment to have gotten grabbed by Wallmaster.
Yeah, because Indio has no idea how far ahead they really are just because of that bow and swamp. So they're, it probably feels a bit like almost a jet seed for him at this point.
Well,
they're doing great.
Add on top of the fact that everything else to get into Swamp Palace was so early that you don't know when your opponent even just ran into swamp in general, let alone grab that bow.
All right, we're through 17 and we haven't found it. So guess what? It's either right-hand side or it's in tile room.
Almost all of us are out looking at this now. There's one current active guest still good.
What was that?
19.
19 was the guess? All right, so we only have 2 more checks. "24 still alive?" Yes, Scanner, you're right.
That's why I said active checks.
Nice dash block there. Well, it was check number 18. So close.
Does that make it a legal check?
Sorry, that pun was in poor taste.
So we did have a 17 for a guess, so I guess that would be the closest.
Did we have a 17?
I saw a 17 up here.
I see a 7.
"17 was dead." Oh, okay.
I just want to acknowledge one of the comments in chat. I mean,
I know we're talking about 24s, but I think Indio has to crash and have to redo the entirety of GT for John to have a chance at this point.
Yeah.
And I know that sucks to say.
Well, Indio though is saving quitting out of GT because they didn't have enough arrows, and so we're having a little moment here, which is a little bit dangerous. This is giving John a huge opportunity to try to catch up a little bit. So they're going to the capacity upgrade to buy an arrow upgrade. But man, what a time sink. Because now they're going to have to go all the way back up the mountain.
Did we not
And-
see a tree pole that had arrows?
I don't know.
I know coming out of Escape they had hearts, but I could have sworn we saw another tree pole and one of them was arrows.
I mean, obviously, Indio still has a pretty. I mean, they don't know, and probably this is a little bit moment of panic here. They still have a pretty safe lead because I mean, Dr. John still has to beat Helmut, and then still has to go and find that big key. But it is making this a lot closer than what it was looking like here. 8 bombs was a tree pole. Okay.
I remember 8 bombs was on bush crab.
Yeah, 8 bombs is definitely on bush crab. I just don't remember what the tree pole was at this point. It might have been both. They did have a lot of bombs floating around early.
Had a lot of arrows floating around early too.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of the few times when you actually want the shovel in your inventory. Oh, jeez, and then dead rocked. I feel like I'm playing. I will always dead rock myself every time.
Yeah, to go and just build off of what was said in chat, you know, again, we know that Indio has a huge lead, but they have to feel some type of way having been in go mode for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And between the wall master and running out of arrows on your climb, like it has to be a feel bads. Just personally.
100%.
Scalar, I don't know. I mean, I know John likes to go left, so I don't know if we'll see a full right, but it does also come down to whether or not Indio goes and falls, but I believe they grabbed. No, they don't have that bottle from Zora Waterfall or Zora Ledge.
No, Indio's just rocking 2, I believe. But they did fill them up. I'm pretty sure that Indio has at least 1, if not 2 blues. Because Indio did get potions when turning in the mushroom right before coming up the mountain. TJ says, John, I think John's a dirty rando rusher. Well, unfortunately, that is not going to work to his advantage. Indio doing the smart thing here, getting the magic refill in this side room here. That's great.
I also love the comment about you can potion camera unlock the mimics in Mimic 1. However, we have seen that this week. It did not work out for the runner. They soft locked themselves in Mimic 2.
Ooh. Yeah, I know that there's ways of manipulating those rooms. That's something I've not tried to attempt myself. I have a feeling I would be the one soft locking myself. Oh, the game's taunting because all the arrow drops by the enemies? Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Kind of funny, though.
It is. It's sure every single time one drops, it's like, really? Now? We'll say the other slight advantage that Dr. John has, I mean, the time's not helping, but did get that half magic out of Hookshot Cave, so Indio does need to be a little bit conscious about magic usage. But with the potions, it's not as big of a deal. All depends on the comfort level too with doing silverless cannon.
Scanler also pointing out John does have Gold Sword. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be enough to save them time. John also going DM right, which is not something I expected to see.
Well, it's going to end up being the right play for him, which is good. It'll get him in the climb a little bit sooner. But we'll see how close he can make those. I mean, I got to give some credit to get this seed as close as it is after Indio found that bow in swamp is pretty good. Just really
lamp.
Yeah, those two things. I mean, but just very fortunate that that second bow wasn't in GT, because that would have just been devastating. Oh, there's the shovel. That would have helped getting some arrows earlier.
Yeah, John, speaking of arrows, John only having 15. I know there's, that's enough to get him through.
Yeah.
Still a little tight if you miss a couple shots.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the good news is there's at least a 5 pickup in the second mimic room down here. So more than likely he'll be just fine.
Meanwhile, Indio already on Molder
Nice
2 and clear.
Nice kill.
He is an entire gauntlet ahead of Dr. John at the moment. And run validated.
With the green 20.
Nice boots.
Yes.
No hovering in the seed.
Not at all. I could think of a few people who would not approve that.
1 of 5, no hovers.
Validation fake boots is right. All right, here's the Agatu. Oh, just got one on the first.
Same thing with John. All enemies just dropping all those arrows. Not picking them up. Doesn't need to pick them up, but...
No. All right, and Indio finishing up Agatu with some questionable patterns there. But got through it. Did a great job. And now we're about to see a Tempered Sword Silverless fight on Indio's side.
John having blue potions. Already running low on magic and health.
Well, he's going to pop one of them right now. I mean, John's got 3 bottles, so a little bit more flexibility there, leeway. And then having the half magic is just going to abuse the fire rod to knock these guys out.
To answer chat, yes, Indio does have bottles. Or potions. They went and grabbed them shortly before going into GT, or into Turtle Rock, I mean.
Yeah.
So if Dr. John has to catch up, it's gonna have to be Ganon Falls, not Ganon Deaths.
Yeah, for sure. But India already on phase 3, doing a good job. Oh, it's going to be interesting when Dr. John sees the message that tells him that the other bow's in swamp.
Well, good thing he has allowed 1 F-bomb here on GMP, because we might be getting that right in the interview.
We'll have to ask him what he thinks about that. No, you're right. He should, by then, should know the outcome if Indio can finish this fight off. But it's also still a matter of like, if it was only a couple more checks in, which it kind of was, it might have saved him. Well, would have probably saved him quite a bit of time.
All right, Dr. John now finished the Moldorm 2.
Yep. Gets
He's
his
also going to
fake
find
boots.
those boots.
Yep. And We'll see how this goes. Indio doing a good job having some patience here. And there it is.
No.
Oh, great job, Indio.
Dr. John also finishing Aga 2 is about ready to enter Ganon, about 3 minutes behind where Indio is now.
Yeah, get your GGs in chat, guys. Hey, you know what's great about having a series with two good runners? When we get to see a deciding game 3 at some point soon, this is a really, really great race between the two of them.
And with that, Indio finishes with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 36 seconds. Unfortunately, it does look like we've lost Dr. John.
Uh-oh.
So unfortunately, we won't be able to see Dr. John's Ganon fight, but I'm assuming it's going very well, and cannot wait to hear the reaction to Swamp Palace. Oh, did fall, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. John
He's back up. Yeah. Must have just had a fall. He's still going, though.
I don't know if we even checked what Pyramid Fairy's bottles were either.
I don't think we needed to, because by that point, Dr. John already had full bottles, so he wasn't going to be looking. Because he filled up on blues before he did a lot of that stuff.
Unfortunately, not being able to see when he fell is also unfortunate, not seeing if he had gotten that hint yet or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And we do have confirmation that Indio will be joining us. However, it is taking a little bit longer. On to phase 3 of Ganon on Dr. John's side.
Well, he sees it now. Oh, we just missed the spin there.
And we are joined in the booth by our winner of today's race, Indio. GG's.
BJ?
Thanks.
What a seed, right?
Oh, I thought I blew it with the arrows at Ganon.
So what tipped you over the scales was your decision to continue into Swamp Palace.
I had a feeling that was huge, but I'm glad it was because I feel like I would have lost it.
You
I
entered
had to
into
double
Swamp
dip
Palace just before Dr. John, and where he bailed after getting Titan Mitch, you pressed on, getting bailed out himself by grabbing the bow from Pyramid Fairy.
Oh wow, that's where it was.
If everyone get your GGs in chat, Dr. John is just finishing up the Ganon fight.
GG's Dr. John.
GG.
And he finishes up with an official time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 31 seconds. But yeah, we were actually saying we knew that you guys probably had to go in a swamp at that point, because between the two of you, you checked a ton of stuff in the game. And then as soon as we saw the mitts, we were both saying on commentary, oh man, do you just bail and get up to Dark Death Mountain and see if you could do Turtle Rock? And so we were kind of debating on that move. And really, as soon as Dr. John left, because he was just a minute or two behind you, he leaves. You open the chest that had the bow. We're like, oh no. So it's such a huge moment right there.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, we just at some point we're like, well, there's a second one. He might get bailed out somewhere, because it could have shown up in TR, like it could have been anywhere. And he eventually did find it, like we said. But it was really crazy seeing that. But that put you on track to go to start go moding a little bit sooner, and that made a huge difference.
Yeah, I was really hoping to not see a bow anywhere except GT. So when I didn't see another bow, I thought I was in pretty good shape. If he had kind of bailed on Swamp, but yeah, that was a crazy move.
I may or may not have wanted to see both bows on left side swamp.
Yeah, that was definitely discussed in the commentary. I'm sure you guys will both enjoy that. Dr. John, thanks for joining us. GG's.
GG's, man.
Yeah, GG's, Indio. Did Ganon say there was a bow in swamp? Is that what he said?
Yes.
If there's not a bow in swamp, do I win?
Yes.
Man,
So,
I love it.
yeah, we were talking about it once you guys entered swamp. Indio was in swamp maybe a couple minutes before you, and obviously we saw Indio get the mitts, and then we started talking on commentary about do you bail knowing that you likely have access to Turtle Rock and all the Death Mountain checks. And we were saying that in this case we might do that. You found the mitts, you left, which really looking at what that is, a good decision, because there's so many other checks you can do. As soon as you left, Indio found the bow right in the flooded room on the left chest, and we're like, oh no. And then we were just kind of hoping that you were going to get bailed out with that second bow somewhere on path, which it kind of happened. I mean, Pyramid Fairy wasn't exactly on path, but at least it wasn't in GT, because I don't know how long it would have taken you to get back in the swamp.
Well, it was my play. I was going from Pyramid to Swamp for sure.
Okay.
And I knew I was taking a risk leaving, but for all the reasons you just said. And then when I saw the bow in Pyramid, I thought it was over. I honestly thought it was over. I was like, well, unless there's a bow in Swamp, I don't know how I'm not winning. And then
Right.
Well, so
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, John, I ran out of arrows in GT and saved and quit, and then bought the arrow upgrade and then climbed the mountain again. That cost me a bit of time, but
So I guess it's impossible to say because I'm not sure exactly how much time. If I get the bow out of Swamp, then is that go mode?
Yes.
It would have been at that
Yes.
point, yeah.
So
And I did yeah.
I may have prematurely had said yes, because with that being go mode, the only other difference is Indio, you never actually found this because of having that go mode bow. Flute and Bombos were both on Laser Bridge. And just kind of made Dr. John divert their route a little bit. Other reasonable plays that could kind of change this routing, I'm assuming, is that lamp on Zora, guys. Wow.
Yeah, when I spawned, I was gonna hula hand, but then I just was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So that was painful to see that there. But I did start the seed with the plans to hula hand, and for reasons I can't explain, just chose not to.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering if you just weren't going to go back there. I mean, if you're comfortable enough with the dark rooms, you might have not really needed it. Obviously, it was the logical access to get up on the mountain at that point. But we figured, well, if you don't get back there, then you're going to probably just say, you know what, I just got to get up on the mountain anyway, and then start to kind of catch up that way. But man, you guys, it was just an incredible race, and now we get to see another incredible race when you guys have your game 3, which is going to be a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
GG's India for sure.
yeah, GG's, man.
Crazy. We'll talk in a little bit and get something scheduled for this week. I got to think about. We'll let everybody know for sure.
So this is Indio's second game 3 in brackets. John, this is your first. Any nerves going into it here in the semifinals?
No, I mean, I've had the same amount of nerves in the hour leading up to the race, almost every race, but then somewhere in the first 5 minutes, they usually kind of fade away. I mean, yeah, my first game 3, but to give the people what they want, and yeah, hopefully put on a good show. I'm guessing Indio's going open rando, but we'll see.
I will see. Didn't work out last time for me, so might change it.
I thought Kaz Boots would favor me, and
Yeah.
so we're each 0-1 with our selections.
I was just happy to get tempered this run. That's all I can say.
John
Good stuff,
actually
though.
found Buttersword. It was in Spike Cave.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really. I was hoping for a bigger payoff there. God, I knew leaving Swamp would cost me, but then I thought it didn't.
It was very reasonable to do. You found Mitt's first check, and it was a clearable Turtle Rock.
I mean, half the
mean,
other seats you play, you're not going to find anything else after you find those mids in there. And you're going to feel like you're just wasting your time. And in this case, there just happened to be the other item you needed. It's such a tough call.
That means so I found silvers, right? Logically,
Correct.
or
Yeah.
I guess they were both in this. Neither one was behind the other.
No.
No, nasty. All right. Appreciate the crew and Lumaga for streaming, and Emok and Furious for commentating. Butter Grapes, thanks for getting maiden voyage on tracker.
I have one last question for you, Dr. John, just because
Yeah.
it was really early on the seed. That ped check within the first 15 minutes of the race, is it just because you found books super early that it was like, well, all my pendant crystals are relatively simple to do. Let me just go check it while I'm here. Was there any thought to just delay that until after you had Mirror and Fire on?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to just took 40 seconds to get up there and back, which is costly, but I just kind of wanted to know. And I know with the three pendants were dark world, it makes it a little slightly less likely for there to be. But I mean, Bo could have been there, right? So it's probably a waste of time, but I just wanted to eliminate that information from my brain and hope to never have to clear a pendant.
Was that bombs or was that bombos on Ped?
bombs? Bombos
Bombs.
on Laser Bridge.
I was thinking about that. I checked it too, and I was like, "Is that bombos?" And I had no idea. So I was just hoping to never see bombos come up.
Yeah, if you would
Or
have finished
distracted.
checking Laser Bridge, that's where you would have found your flute and bombos there. But at that point, you were ready and go, and you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Nasty flute. Yeah, good stuff. No complaints.
Jeez. Thanks for restreaming, guys.
Of course, thank you for putting on this race for us to commentate and watch. As you guys said, you guys are going to be planning your game 3. So anyone in chat, go ahead and look out for that on the schedule. We also have a lot of other great races coming up. And again, if you ever want to join the Goma Podcast Discord and, help out and even join the Mentor Tournament maybe next year, go ahead and join the Discord. Go give both of our runners, Dr. John and INDIO, a follow. Go ahead and give co-commentator Emok81 a follow, our tracker Buttergrips a follow, as well as our restreamer Lumaga. It's going to be a great last of these semifinals and finals. I can already see. Winner of your game 3 does go on to face Bobsled in the finals of the Master Sword bracket.
Hell yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I'd love to get there, but Andy, you're going to have something to say about it for sure.
Absolutely. Again, great show, and I also got to say to everyone, make sure you follow my fellow commentator Furious Prince. This was a lot of fun tonight, guys. Thanks for putting on such a great show, and I'm glad we were able to see this.
Good night.
Sean in chat making the comment that we are trying our hardest to make sure that every single last game goes and gets a restream because we are in the end game now.
Yes.
That will do it from us from Goma Podcast, and have a wonderful night, guys.